So, Nicole Turner, great to chat to you today. Obviously, I'd say you're flying high off the World Swimming Championships there over a month ago. We'll start with the PB. I'm sure that was exciting to improve on your Tokyo time.
Yeah, I suppose Worlds was bittersweet. The start of the week, I did swim exceptionally well, and then I suppose even in the end of the week, I did swim really well. But I just think being so close to the podium, but not getting that medal was quite tough to take. But if I'm honest, I like people say it was the year to do it. We're a year out from Paris, so I think it's driven me even more now to train hard for Paris.
And then, obviously, you were competing in a number of events, but silver in the butterfly before, as I say, in Tokyo. Would you say that's your kind of favorite event, or do you have a favorite event?
Yeah, I think it has. I think as the years are going on, I am like opening it up to a few more events. But I think looking back on Tokyo, I did train solely for the 50 fly, and then I just did the extra two events with that. Whereas I think I am getting quite stronger in a few other events as well as my 50 fly as the years are going on. So I think in Paris it'll be a focus on a few others as well as the 50 flies, not just solely on it.
Yeah, interesting because I was wondering how that works kind of training wise. Like, do you devote equal time to all of them, or do you kind of go more into others and then come back to it at a different time? What do you kind of do there?
No, you kind of, I think you do, it is equal to all of them. Like in swimming, like butterflies are really hard stroke to swim on a normal day. So I think even though like it's kind of funny, it's my main event, but it's probably the least amount of the least stroke I do in training just because of how hard
Mm.
it is. But when we'd be doing fast block work and then race speed, it would be focused solely on the competition events. So for me, that'd be between butterfly, freestyle, and then a bit of breaststroke.
Just those few, like, Maggie.
Just not backstroke. I don't like backstroke.
But it's interesting as well because I saw you had mentioned in a few interviews, especially around the time of medaling in Tokyo, that you were saying, people kind of see the glory and not so much like all the work that goes into
Yeah.
it. Can you chat to us a bit about that? And like, I'm sure it's
Oh,
a lot of early starts and everything as well.
absolutely. Like I said, like that's literally it. People see it. Like I think it's kind of funny. You have to laugh. Some people think you literally show up to the pool, race the length of the pool. In some cases, win a medal, collect the medal, and leave. Like the likes of Tokyo, we trained for 5 years for that. And that meant like I have a coach, so he trained for 5 years with me. My mom and dad, I didn't drive at the time, so my mom and dad drove me to and from swimming. I lived an hour and 10 minutes away. And then me myself, like I train 6 days a week, numerous of sessions a day. And even getting into Tokyo, like I'd be at the pool 2.5 hours before my race. I'd warm up. It takes a lot of time to get into that racing suit. And then you have to step up on the block. So I think people just think it's as easy as you just rock up, you swim a length and you go. But I think like the likes of the Paralympics, the preparation starts the day after the Paralympics finished 4 years ago. So I think it is years of hard work.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Because obviously you're putting, as you say, nearly 4 or 5 years into it, and then you either get like that fleeting moment of success or you're kind of disappointed and then straight
Yeah,
back into it.
absolutely. And I think this year was the first time I've kind of really experienced that disappointment. And it was tough, but I think like that, like I had 3 weeks off and now we started the Paris cycle on Monday. So I try to take one step at a time. So when Tokyo finished, like we had two sets of world championships. And I focused on them before I was like, right, okay, it's time for Paris. Whereas now it is time for Paris.
Yeah, you kind of like putting that off in your mind. Do you relish the excitement and the nerves of it?
Oh no, it is really exciting. Like I think especially this one, it'll be nice that we have the crowds back and it will be like a normal games again. And it's come around so quickly, but I think you have to embrace the nerves and the excitement and just put the two and two together.
And you touched on there and started off the cycle. What's the qualification process involved? It's all kind of starting to heat up now.
Yeah, so qualification actually opened at World Championships 5 weeks ago. So I actually got my qualification time, but I do have to step up and achieve that time again between now and the end of May. And then the Paralympics works a little differently where you do have to allocate slots. So between females and males, we won't all know that we're definitely going until the end of May. And then the team will be announced, I think, at the beginning of July.
Yeah, it's very late, really, isn't it? Considering, yeah, then the
Absolutely,
softball,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's literally 9 weeks before the games, and it's like, right, okay, you're going, or you're not going.
And then kind of heading into your like third Olympic cycle, what's the dynamic switch like for you? Because obviously the team is changing and there's younger people as well. I know Dervla Brady, I saw a picture of the two of you together
Yeah.
there. That must be kind of interesting because obviously, you know, Rio, you were the youngest and now you're kind of, not that you're old by
No,
any
no,
means,
no.
still a youngster only, but
Mature. Excuse me. No, it is. It is. I won't say it's strange. It is lovely. Like I think looking back on Rio, I was 14.
yeah.
The likes of Ellen, there was Al Kelly, there was James Scully. They were all years older than me, and they really looked after me. And even after Rio, like I was the youngest member of the team since 2021 nearly. So I think I was the youngest member of the team until Roisin Ring joined the team.
Yeah.
And it is like you do get looked after, and it's like you are wrapped up, and everyone's looking out for you. But now that we have Roisin, and then now that we have Derval on the team, it is nice. It's so nice seeing that there's younger bodies with the capability of going to World Championships and qualifying for Paralympic Games. But in another respect, it is nice seeing, like, I kind of take a moment back and I'm like, I was that age one day. And at that age, like, you just take it in your stride. Like Dervla, she was just so excited to swim at Worlds. And it was really nice seeing her. Like, she wasn't nervous. She just wanted to get up on the blocks and go, and she swam absolutely amazing. And I remember when I was that age, and you do miss it because as the years went on, I did see swimming get a bit more serious, and that's when the nerves do kick in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just think while you're young, and fit, I just think it's time you need to enjoy the sport as much as letting the nerves get into your head.
You find that a bit infectious then because obviously you've been through the Paralympic cycle, you know how it works and everything. But as you say, they're kind of starting out, and obviously some have been there before as well. But it must be kind of nice to have that bit of a, I suppose, change of
Yeah,
personnel in the team as well. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And I think like for so many years, like in Rio there was only four of us, in Tokyo there was five. So it's nice having more girls, having more members on the team. Even for the culture of the team and the attitude, like it just is nice that there's a real positive vibe and there's more people to bounce off, I guess.
for sure. And you were chatting about there when you were a younger swimmer, when you were starting out, who were you looking up to, do you think?
I think like when I first started out, I did really look up to Ellie Simmons simply because she was small, just like me. And she went on to win Paralympic medals. But then I think when I joined the team, I had the likes of Ellen Keane and James Scully, where they're like me now. They'd been on the team for like what Ellen was on the team 8 years, I think, before I joined the team. So they've been through it all, and like they know exactly how you're feeling. They know what it's like. Some would say it is quite daunting, and it is like it's all new. But that's when we do make an effort. Like I did it with Dervla, Ellen did it with me. You do make an effort to look after the person, to talk them through it if they're unsure of it, to guide them in the right direction. And I just think that shows the type of team we are, and it really helps us perform, I guess.
And then, would you say then in that regard, like swimming formed like a big part of your identity now and when you were younger as well, that, you kind of had those relationships and obviously you're investing so much time in it as well. Like,
Yeah, I think that was nice. Like I think being at home, it is really nice. Like I'm not like I say this, it's a really positive. Like I think some people with disabilities, it's like, oh yeah, that's Nicole, she has a disability. Whereas like no one sees me as having a disability. It's, oh, Nicole, the Paralympics. Well, my friends just see me as Nicole. It's like, oh yeah, you're Nicole, you're nobody. And I really like that. But then other people, it's like, oh, you're Nicole, you're the Paralympic swimmer. So I think it is nice having that identity, that you are someone big and people do have an interest in what you're doing.
So your friends aren't letting you get away with any notions then?
Oh no, 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 no. Sometimes that can be a good, not all the time, but sometimes that can be a good thing. But no, honest to God, my friends just see me as another one of them, which is it is nice. But and I think that that is the nice part of it as well. Like I think I am a swimmer, but as I say, I'm more than just a swimmer. Like I do have a life outside of swimming. I have family, I have friends. And it is sometimes just nice to spend time with them where they're the most down to earth bunch of people. And most of them have known me before I even started swimming. So it's like it's not all swim and talk when I am around them.
Definitely. What do you kind of do to unwind then outside of sport?
Rest and recovery is a lot. No, like I honestly I can't spend my days going out the whole time. Like it wouldn't work with swimming. But I do like all my friends now, we're all in colleges, we're all in different places. But at the weekend I would try and see my friends at least once a week. Just wind down. It wouldn't be anything crazy. Go for a bit of food, even see each other in each other's houses. But just to switch off from the sport and just have a normal conversation.
Yeah, because psychologically, even I'd say you kind of need that break because I actually saw on your Instagram one of your coaches was mentioning how you're like always like pushing yourself to the limit. Like, what do you kind of think about during those times to get yourself through? Because I'm sure, like,
Um,
at some stages you must be thinking, God, like it's so tough.
no, it is, and I think like I've just been on a 4 week break, and that was a proper break. But like I get every Sunday off. But when I say I get every Sunday off, it's a Sunday to rest and recover. It's not even as if I can switch off because when it comes
Yeah,
Sunday, if I did something on Sunday, it's like, right, well, I'm gonna do something today, but what impact's that gonna have on my Monday training schedule? Like I think it does, like it is 48 weeks of the year. We literally get 4 weeks to do absolutely nothing, go wild, do whatever we want. But then the rest of the other 48 weeks, it is all revolved around something. Like I said, I do get downtime and I do spend it with friends and family. But what I do does have to I do have to be sensible about it.
yeah, you're kind of switched on then, kind of most of the time, even when you're off. But
Even when I'm
you,
off, I'm switched on.
yeah, when you
Yeah,
mentioned there
absolutely.
about college, I believe it's sports management you're doing, is it?
It is, yeah. I'm just about to start my second year.
And how's that going? Why did you feel you wanted to transition into that?
So I came out of school. I left school after transition year, and that was to train for Tokyo. Tokyo got delayed, so I ended up being 2 years out of school, and in them 2 years, I just solely trained for Tokyo. It was amazing. Like it did get me a silver medal, but I think mentally it was so challenging. Like I didn't have anything else to focus on. Whereas then after Tokyo, I went into the PLC, and from the PLC, that's what got me into college in TU Dublin. Um, and I'm going into my second year now. And honestly, like it is a lot. Like I probably will end up splitting the year and focusing solely on Paris come January. But it is really nice in another way to just have something else. Like, yeah, assignments can be a lot, but it's nice coming home from swimming and being like, right, I need to do this, that, the other, not let's get ready for the day tomorrow, which is swimming. Um, it's nice to have a balance of both. And then, like I said before, swimming's not always going to last forever. So it'll be nice to have something in the back to fall back on as well.
Yeah, what do you think you'd like to sort of move into in that kind of space?
um, Ask me in about 4 years' time and I'll come back no, like I think it will end up somewhere in an office, whether it be Paralympics Ireland or whatnot, but going into some sort of sport management, maybe something I'll do.
And then kind of going off the back of that, would you think, I know what had saw somewhere that you were talking about Rio and that you thought that was kind of the changing point for the perception of Paralympic athletes in Ireland. Why do you think that was like what kind of change do you think? And then do you think it's continuously improving or has it been stop start? What's your kind of opinion on that?
Yeah, I think parasport is growing bigger and bigger as the years are growing on. Like even sponsorship wise now, um most Olympics and Paralympics have the same amount of sponsors. Like the likes of Toyota Ireland, they sponsor me, and they've sponsored me since 2017. But I just think as the years have gone on, like London was big, and I think London was big as well because it was so close to home in Ireland.
Mm.
Rio was big, but then I think Tokyo, to be fair and to be credit to every single media person out there, RTE, anyone, they were absolutely exceptional, and I think that's like it is because it's grown, but it's also because we didn't have a crowd, so everyone was stuck back at home, having to watch us on TV, and then like even getting to see my parents' reaction in the back of my house on the TV was even more special. So I think it is growing. Like, yeah, it probably still does have a bit to go. But from when I started, which was in 2016 in Rio, it has grown massively. And even the sport in itself, it's just getting more and more competitive.
Do you kind of feel that onus on you to carry that on even more?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is nice. Like I think even like walking around, and if a little kid was like, "Oh mom, I saw her on the telly," like that just it does put a smile on your face. And just think if I can have an impact on one person's life to get involved in sport, like I think that's the bit that makes me, and that's the bit like that's the icing on top that I do want to do this. It's the impact it has on other people's lives as well as my own.
Brilliant. And you were talking about Toyota there. What role do they kind of play in supporting Paralympic athletes like yourself?
So with Toyota, it's about Start Your Impossible. And it's about literally, so there's four of us, three or four of us, who they sponsor across Ireland. And it's all about visibility with Toyota. It's about showing what we can do. Starting your impossible, like I said, like some people might see the impossible, but some other people will see the finish line. So it's about getting involved, taking that step where you might not think you're able to, and yeah, making a difference.
Brilliant. Well, you're definitely doing that anyways. Where can we see you next, Nicole?
Paris. No, so it's kind of, as I said, I only came back swimming on Monday. So between now and Christmas is just it's a long training block. We're not really going anywhere or competing anywhere far and wide. And then from January, that's when we'll start traveling and competing. But the main one will be in Paris next August.
Brilliant. I can't wait for it anyways. I'm sure you can't either. Thanks so much for your time, Nicole.
Thank you. Thanks a million.